everybody, welcome back. And can you believe it? Holy smokes. Foreclosures are actually up 47.5%. And foreclosure sales, well, they're down 65.4%. How is that possible? Well, we're going to delve into those dastardly deeds of data details. You got to like the deeds today. And we're going to bring some actual reality to these. And we're going to talk about how little numbers can become big numbers. Anyway, with that, make sure that you subscribe. All right. And there we go. Share this information with everybody that you like. If they're looking at buying or selling, look, there's no selling here. Really, at the end of the day, the key thing is let's get them the best information possible. That's what this is about. All right. So let's delve into a little bit about what the market is doing, because I'm sure that some of the credit unions and lenders that we work with just about fell off of their chair with the title. But it's going to be super important. Let's go through this, and in the meantime, let's get our next chart here. All right. So as we look at this, you can still see even today, and I actually thought that, oh my gosh, I think new listings on market might actually surpass pended, because we had a huge surge of homes come on last minute on Friday. As you can see, 1,132 new on market, 1,385 went pended, and yes, 975 sold. Now, some of you may ask, George, what the heck? Well, why are homes going pended when interest rates are up? You said that according to Lawrence Yun, National Association of Realtors, that when rates hit above 6.8%, the buyers pulled out. And then when they get down to about 6.6%, they come back in. Yes, however, they also understand value. Now, when you price a home correctly, you will actually get a ton of buyers out there. So, as an example, one of the new construction sites that a couple of our clients were interested in, they went out, it's a Main View development out in Edmonds. They released 15 homes. They priced them correctly. Why? Because in a matter of days, 13 of them went under contract. Days. Boom, gone. I mean, it was like revisiting 2020 and 2021. It was absolutely shocking. By the time you said, hey, I'm going to present an offer on this lot, they said it's gone. And I'm like, what? And so anyway, it was pretty interesting. It was shocking to about most people involved. But understand, well-priced homes go off the market in 7 days. And when that happens, you get the most amount of money in your pocket. So remember that. All right. So when we move on to our next slide here, we take a look at what is trending. So when you take a look at these numbers, super, super interesting. All right. Now, again, we should be at about 18,000, 22,000 homes available on the market. And as you can see, we only have half of that. We have about 9,000 homes. Now, that also translates into the number of homes that can be sold, because the two, believe it or not, have a direct relationship to each other. So when you take a look at the number of listings, new homes on market, we are down 15,000 year to date just based on what there was last year. Well, heaven's sakes. I mean, when you reduce the amount of homes available to buyers, especially by that number, and then of course you take a look at the fact that our number of homes closed is greater than 10,000, you can see how they relate. If we add more homes to it, buyers will have more options. One of the reasons that we are seeing this amazing price support still, even though our interest rates are even higher on average than what they were last year, and even though they've come down a little bit after our 2-week increase of our 5-week before that reduction, buyers still understand the value of securing a home, because later this year, probably Q4 into next year, fourth quarter into 2024, we're expecting things to level out, expecting rates to come back down, And then, of course, buyer demand is going to come back in again. Problem is, we already have only 1 month of inventory. Again, remember, these are single-family homes. The condo and multifamily, those are different videos, different reports. Let us know if you want them. We will forward those to you. We keep those for select folks to, that actually are interested in them. Anyway, with that being said, when we take a look at year over year, homes that are available versus homes that are sold, look, if we have 15,000 less homes and we have 10,000 less sales, doesn't mean our market is going down like this, especially when we've seen about a 4% increase in home appreciation already. Now you might say, hang on, George, what the heck? You just said last year the media said that, home sales are down and everything was going down, and now you're saying it's going up. It's always been going up. It's just a matter of when we take a look at the average, or what they call the median sales price, went down. Okay. Well, it's up 17% since January, but year over year, it's still down. Why? Because when interest rates double, you can't qualify for as much. So you are still purchasing, but you're purchasing in a different price point. That different price point is lower. Normal. Totally expected. But it makes great news. Anyway, moving on. All right, when we take a look at our next slide here, we take a look at new construction. Look at this chart. All right, so on this chart, you can see that year over year, our solds are down, well, just about 300 homes. And you can see that our pending are up, well, guess what? About 1,000 homes. And it's interesting because we are seeing a lot more activity, even when we take a look at the same month year over year. You can see our pendants are up 61.6%. All right. Now, we just talked about if you price homes correctly, you're going to get massive activity. Now, I'm not saying you have to fire sale your price, but just keep that in mind. If you're a seller, keep that in mind. You need to take a look at and talk to the person you're working with. What does it take to sell my house in 7 days so I get the most amount of money in my pocket? I have the fewest contingencies, higher probability of escalation and getting a better price. Okay? Keep those things in mind if having more money in your back pocket is important to you. Just saying. All right. So when we take a look at new construction, it is still a dominant, it is without a doubt a dominant feature in our market. Why? There's just not enough homes out there. Now, it's not the 32, 31% that it was before, because we did see a little bit of an uptick in inventory, but not enough. Yet we're still seeing multiple offers on a lot of different homes. But now let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about bank-owned and REOs, which are technically one and the same. So when we take a look at that and you look at these numbers and you're like, holy smokes, and you're like, oh, geez, George, that's not a big deal. Look at that. Last year we had 40 homes last year. We had 59 this year. That is correct. It's still nominal, but it's the numbers that sometimes the media will publish or people start talking about without giving a full background. And when you look at that, that's peanuts. That's half of Washington State. Heck, there's more cities than disparity of foreclosures year over year. Sales being down? Come on, give me a break. Look, there are some lenders out there that are definitely pushing price. Hey, that's their job. It's called loss mitigation. Their job is to get the most amount of dollars. Yes, they might be, a little askew on their price, but nonetheless, it is still a solid market in our area. We do not have a foreclosure issue in our area. Anybody who is indicating we have a looming foreclosure issue, well, they might be a little off base. That does not mean that in other areas on the commercial side that there are some issues out there. Sure, as feds raise rates, because feds affect commercial lending, car loans, home equity line of credits, or what's called a HELOC, right? Your credit cards, I think I said that. Anyway, that is what the feds control, not mortgage rates. And the problem is that a lot of these loans, so remember, when you go to get your loan, average person, right, goes and gets a loan and it's for 30 years. Now, yes, there are people who do 15s and 7s, depending on where they're at equity-wise and everything else. I totally get that. Totally get that. Commercial, though, you do 5-year loans, 7-year loans, 10-year loans. And the longer the duration, the higher the rate. But remember, they don't do 30-year amortizations. They do like a 20 or a 25 or a 28, something that is shorter because they get more money up front, less term. Because remember, rates are mortgage rates and commercial lending rates are based on risk. So they mitigate that risk. We have a lot of folks that were able to capitalize on lower rates when the Fed lending was basically 1%, and then they do prime plus, so they were getting 3 to 5% mortgages on their commercial property, which was awesome. But when you take that then and dump it up to like 7.5%, well, that doesn't make sense. Okay, and they have a hard time getting those projects to pencil, especially in areas where they have folks that allow crime. That it appears that shoplifting is a legal thing now in some places. Don't get it. Same thing with using drugs. I guess Seattle thinks it's a legal aspect. Well, I disagree with that, but they're the ones in charge. You voted them in. Well, maybe not you specifically. Anyway, with that being said, let's get off our little soapbox here. Let's take a look at the next thing. So we take a look at mortgage rates. Mortgage rates, as always, as you can see, they bobble right along. They've been coming down, although they took a tiny little uptick, not a big uptick, but a tiny little uptick on Friday. But they've been historically, in the last 2 weeks, coming back down, and buyers have been very aggressive in coming back into the market. Now, what's super important is the feedback that we are now starting to see from some of the bigger head sheds out there saying that maybe our market is not going to be as catastrophic as they originally predicted. And in fact, when we take a look at Freddie Mac's chief economist, Sam says as inflation continues to decelerate, economic growth is slowing and the tightening cycle of monetary policy is reaching its apex. You gotta love those words. Which means mortgage rates are expected to decrease later this year and into next year. Wow, where have we heard that before? Now, you might say, well, George, you just came up with this because you read it. Nah, we've been saying this for the past year and a half as we predict things so you can make the best business planning, which means make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. In fact, smash that subscribe button. Tell us that you like it. Keep those questions coming because we love answering all of your questions. We normally get back to you in about 30 minutes, so it's not like a big lag. Sunday, yes, we tend to push those off to Monday, but you get great information. If you need more, we do videos for you. So keep the questions coming. We love them. In the meantime, show us that you like the information. And in the meantime, I will see you on the next video. Take care.